Hello everyone and welcome to our English Acquiring channel. Yes, we are about to finish half of Harmony 3. We have learned, we have studied passive voice, active passive voice, causative voice, and reported speech. Now, in the following 4 videos, we are going to study. We are going to try to acquire the relative clauses or adjective clauses. Okay, and it is very clear that, or you can see it clearly that, for example, in the beginner level, there aren't advanced sentences or intermediate sentences. But in the advanced level, there are both elementary and intermediate sentences. Or you can see, you can find beginner, elementary, and intermediate sentences in advanced level. I mean, in this level of English, in Harmony 3, the advanced level of English. So I think it's a matter of linking those sentences in English, connecting them. So, for example, in the following 4 videos, we will have studied the adjective clauses or relative clauses, and we will see that they are used exactly like adjectives. Okay. Yes, first we start with adjectives, with to-be sentences, and then we go on to study modals and tense verb sentences or imperatives, and that's all. As I always said, there isn't the 4th type of English sentence in all English. It's all about knowing them, identifying them, getting to know them, and being able to connect them together. Yes. Okay, now, without wasting time, let me share the presentation of today, connected with relative clauses or adjective clauses. Okay, all right, and hello and welcome back. Yes, this is trip 9. So we are about to finish, okay? We are about to finish the half of Harmony 3, the half of the advanced level. As I said, you will see all 4 types of sentences, of course, in a connected way. Yes, this time we are going to use relative pronouns, okay? Relative pronouns as connectors. We will see what they are in the following slide. Okay. Yes, relative clauses or adjective clauses. Let's identify them. Of course, our job is not just to define them, to explain them, and our job is not to acquire a general culture about English. Our purpose is, our job is to acquire English itself by being familiar with those 4 types of sentences, of course, by increasing our vocabulary. Okay. Yes, let's see what they are. Let's see what relative clauses or adjective clauses are. Okay. Relative means connected with somebody. Okay, there is a connection, relation. Okay. For example, I have an aunt. She's my aunt, related to my father. Okay, so she is my relative, related to my father. But I have two aunts as relatives, and they are my relatives related to my mother. Okay, something like this. Okay, for example, so between what this relation here, this connection is between what and what. Okay, let's see it now. How and when do we use those clauses? Now, number one, for example. The lady is mentoring the child. Yes, we cannot see the lady clearly, but yes, we can see the front part of the lady here standing up, and there is a child sitting, okay, by the lady. Okay, the lady is mentoring the child, coaching the child. The lady is guarding the child. Yes. So she's her hand. Now, okay, this is the point. This is the point from which we enter the relative clause subject. Okay, the lady is mentoring the child. She's her aunt. Okay. Now this is normal sentence. The lady is mentoring the child. Present continuous tense. Okay, and elementary sentence of elementary level. She is her hand, again, sentence of elementary level. But the lady who is mentoring the child is her aunt. Okay, now be careful about this. She's her hand. The lady is mentoring the child. Okay, the lady who is mentoring the child is her aunt. Okay, so there is a connection. Let's see the relation, connection between she and who, or the lady and who. Okay, okay, let's go on. And let's get to know relative clauses a bit more. Relative clauses with relative pronouns, such as who, whom, which, that, whose, or of which. Which substitute or which take the place of the subject pronouns, object pronouns, or possessive or adjective pronouns I, my, me, respectively. Okay, so it means that sometimes who substitutes I, okay? Or who takes the place of I. Instead of I, we use who to make relative clause with a relative pronoun. So these are pronouns, okay? I, my, me, okay? These are relative pronouns. Whom, for example, we will use whom in place of me. Which, that, whose, we will use whose in place of my. Yes, my car. We will use whose in place of my car, so we will say whose car, okay? Whose car, but not in the intonation of a question, in the intonation of a normal sentence, okay? Yes, again, who, whom, or we use that in place of who or whom, and whose and which, and we use that in place of which. Yes, so again, let me say that we are not going to just get to know them. We are not going to just describe them as it is in the dictionary. We are going to try to acquire them. Okay. Okay, again, attention please. A caring one cares for everyone. So let's try to get, I am sure you know it, yes, take care, for example. A caring person, yes, a caring person cares for everyone in need. Okay, for example, this one is caring for this one. And by saying, get well soon. Okay. I care for you. Yes, I care. Maybe you, that also says, this one also says, I care for you. Okay, he is a caring one. Caring one, active. Cared one, passive. Let's also remember this point. Okay, this is important. This is our first dialogue. No, not dialogue, yes, okay. Number one. Jale is a nurse. You know this, and beginner sentence. Jale is a nurse. Two, she is caring for every single patient. Okay, she is a caring person. She is a caring nurse. So she is caring for every single patient. Now, attention again. Jale is a nurse. We took this as a main clause, and this is the subordinate clause. Jale is a nurse who is caring for every single patient. Yes, I am sure you see that she is caring has become who is caring for every single patient. This is this. In fact, it is so simple. It is not really complex or complicated. Again, yes, let's remember our sentences of beginner level, of intermediate level, and now let's try to see them in a sophisticated way as the sentences of advanced level. Okay, now, number one. Everybody knows this. Jason is fair. Yes, subject, verb, and after to be we use adjectives. We can use all of them. Jason is fair. Jason is strong. Jason is weak. Jason is poor. Jason is rich, etc., etc. Jason is an employer. Jason is a captain. Jason is a doctor. Jason is an employer. These are so simple for you. I am sure about it. Okay. Now, number three. Jason is a fair employer. Okay, this is also very simple for you. Jason is a fair employer. Jason is a strong employer. Jason is a rich employer. Jason is a brave employer. Jason is a generous employer, happy employer, etc., etc. So I think there is no need to say that all the adjectives define or modify the nouns. They tell us how they are. Okay. Now look at this sentence. This is the sentence of advanced level. Jason is an employer who is fair to everyone. Okay. Yes, Jason is an employer is just like this sentence. Jason is an employer, okay? Subject, verb to be, and an employer object, noun. So this time we modify it with a relative clause starting with who, okay? Jason is an employer who is fair to everyone. Okay. 5, and this is also advanced level. Jason is an employer fair to everyone. So this is the reduced form. There is reduction here. Okay. We can omit relative pronouns if there is emzar after them. Okay. We will study them a lot in the following slides and videos. Okay. I think it's clear. It's all about, again, adjectives that modify nouns, and this is this. And as you know, adverbs modify verbs. Okay. Again, let's review it like this. Jason is fair. Two, Jason is an employer. Jason is a boss. Yeah. Jason is an employer. Jason is a fair employer. Jason is an employer who is fair to everyone. Jason is an employer. Fair to everyone is also possible and more practical. Okay? Jason is an employer, fair to everyone. Who is caring? Who is a caring nurse? So, this is Jale. Jale is a caring nurse. Okay? Jale, number one. Jale is caring. Jale is a nurse. Jale is a caring nurse. Jale is a nurse who is caring for everyone. Jale is a nurse caring for everyone. Now, clauses which can be used just like adjectives. Yes, clauses which can be used just like adjectives are called adjective clauses. It means that they describe, they modify, they define. Yes. Their job is to define. Definition is what counts, okay? Definition, description, modification is what counts about adjectives. This is a general fact. Okay, general rule. Define all the nouns which are used as subject or object of a sentence. Of course, there is no need to say that nouns are used either the subject or the object of a sentence, and we will study soon, we will study the noun clauses as well as a subject of a sentence and as an object of a sentence. In fact, this is so easy, of course, by using those sentences we know at beginner level, at elementary level, and at intermediate level. We will develop them, we will change them into advanced level sentences. Okay. For example, do you want the blue table? Yes, blue is the description of the table. Yeah. Do you want the blue table? Yes, I want the blue table. I don't want the green table. I don't want the red table. So, this is the specific description about the table we want, okay? I want the blue table. Now, this is our topic in advanced level. Do you want the table which is blue? Okay, do you want the table which is blue? Yes, I want the table which is blue. Is it difficult? Is it complicated? No, I don't think so. You put table is a noun, and after a noun, you just put a relative pronoun, which, that, who, whose, okay, and you complete your sentence, the rest of the sentence. Okay. Of course, we are at the beginning of this for video. We are studying the first of the 4 videos about relative clauses, adjective clauses. The nurse took care of the old man very well. Okay, dialogue 2. The nurse took care of the old man very well. He was really in need of caring. Now, please pay attention to the bold words, okay? For example, the old man and he. Okay, this is our subject today about relative clauses, about advanced level. The nurse, yes, the nurse took care of The old man is noun. Now, he was really in need of caring, so he becomes who here. This is this. So the nurse took care of the old man who was really in need of caring very well. Okay. 3, she is the woman. She's the woman. We saw her on the advertisement film. She's the woman who we saw on the advertisement level. So her is, do you know, I'm sure you know, yes, I am sure you know that her is object pronoun, okay? Her becomes whom, in fact, but 90% they use who, okay? She is the woman whom we saw on the advertisement film. So, for example, this is also reduced like this. She is the woman we saw on the advertisement film. Because of who here, we can omit it. And of course, we will study it more in a lot of slides in the following ones. Okay. Now take a look at this one, please. What does the image say? Schedule your pediatric dentist call now. Yes, it's about dentistry. Yeah, a dentist or dentist's office. Okay, 4. The girl wants help from her father. The first sentence. The second sentence. These are normal sentences at elementary level or intermediate level. He is a famous dentist and she has toothache. The girl wants help from her father. He is a famous dentist. Yeah, her father. Her father is a famous dentist and she has toothache. The girl has toothache. The girl who wants help from her father. Yes, we will make sentence like this. She here means the girl who wants help from her father. Okay. Now, let's be careful about our sentence in advanced level with adjective clause sentence. The girl, okay, the girl, so just after the noun, we put who here. Who has to take? So, she has to take comes here as who has to take. Who has to take, okay? The girl that he, okay? She. Who means the girl that she, okay? The girl who has to take oneself from her father. He is a famous dentist, okay? From her father, who is a famous dentist. So her father is a dentist and she wants help from her father, who is a famous dentist. Okay. 5, the suspect enters a tower. The first sentence, second sentence, so instead of suspect, okay, we use he. He really seems in a bad mood. Now the tower rotates around itself, turns around itself. Okay, and of course regularly in a scientific way. It has been designed scientifically. Okay, the suspect who really, okay, instead of he, we use suspect who really seems in a bad mood enters a tower which, okay, the tower rotates around itself, or it rotates around itself, so we use which rotates around itself. 6, there is a tower, a normal sentence, there plus be. There is a tower, full stop. It includes a few shops and a restaurant. Now, this is our advanced level sentence. There is a tower which, for non-living things and animals, we use which. But for human beings, we use who. For who, that, which, that. That is also possible like this. For example, there is a tower that includes a few shops and a restaurant. Okay. I think it's clear. 7. There was a woman on the advertisement film. The film was very interesting. The woman was famous for writing short stories about cats for children. Okay. Now, it becomes like this. There was a woman. The woman was famous. So, who was famous for writing short stories about cats for children on the advertisement film, which was very interesting. So, the film was very interesting. So, which was very interesting. Okay, the image says, they all saw a cat. They all saw a cat. There were nothing else. There was nothing else. Okay, who and that are not used after propositions. How like this? For example, this is my friend. I play table tennis with him. So this is my friend whom I play table tennis with. Or we use them together. This is my friend with whom I play table tennis. Okay. With whom? 9. The boy shouted joyfully. The boy shouted joyfully. His computer was fixed. Okay. Now, this is our topic today. The boy whose computer was fixed shouted joyfully. Yes, you can produce hundreds of thousands of sentences like this. And shall we remember also the other connectors? For example, why did the boy shout? Why did the boy shout? The boy shouted because his computer had been fixed. Okay. Or after, before, for example, after his computer had been fixed, the boy shouted joyfully. Or before the boy shouted joyfully, his computer had been fixed. Or his computer had been fixed or was fixed, also possible. His computer was fixed, so the boy shouted joyfully. Or that's why the boy shouted carefully. Yes, and soon again we will revise, we will study in a sophisticated way, in a total way, about the and group conjunctions, but group conjunctions, so result expressing results, so group conjunctions, and because group conjunctions, etc. We will summarize them totally. Okay. Yes, but now let's remember our subject today, our subject matter today. It is this: the boy whose computer, because he say his computer. Yes. Whose computer was fixed. Okay, this is adjective. Which boy whose computer was fixed. Okay, the boy shouted joyful, but there are 10 boys, for example. Which boy? The boy whose computer was fixed shouted joyful. Yes, we need this relative clauses for these situations. Okay. Problem fixed. Yes, the image says problem fixed. It is over. Okay. Then the nurse, okay, let's imagine the situation, please. The nurse left hospital in a hurry. Why? Her mother had become ill. Let's give the same message in a different way like this, in a more advanced way. The nurse, whose mother had become ill, left hospital in a hurry. Do you see? It is not really complicated. It is so simple and fluent, natural. Her mother had been ill, had become ill, had been ill. The nurse, whose mother had been ill, left the hospital in a hurry. Do you see the main clause? The main clause is the nurse left the hospital in a hurry. Okay. Whose clause? So it is the subordinated clause here. Whose mother had become ill. So it doesn't have a message in it. Whose mother had. The nurse whose mother had become ill depends on, okay, it's a dependent clause. It depends on the main clause, okay. We get the message from the main clause. So the nurse left the hospital in a hurry, but we also need a relative clause, an adjective here, okay? For which nurse? Which nurse left the hospital in a hurry? The nurse whose mother had become ill left the hospital in a hurry. Oh, okay, it's clear now. Okay, there are two types of relative clauses. Yes, I am sure. As you see, this presentation will be about a general opinion about relative clauses, and then in the following second, third, and fourth videos, we will study them one by one and in detail. Okay, let's get this information as well. There are two types of relative clauses. A, non-defining or non-restrictive clauses. Non-defining means defining is not very necessary here, okay? It's a parenthesis. It's a parenthesis knowledge. It's a knowledge in parentheses. Yeah, non-defining. Defining, yes, means here, defining is necessary. Okay. Or identifying or restrictive, yes. Somebody called them as identifying or restrictive as well. But I think defining is the best, okay, name for them, because they define something. So defining clauses are important. They are necessary. We need them. Okay, A. The non-defining relative clause gives extra information which is not necessary, which is not essential to the meaning or message of the main clause. For example, Fatih Terim, who was a football director, turned back to Turkey. Okay, you can consider those. It is between two commas. You can consider those commas as a parenthesis. Okay. We can omit it because everybody knows. Everybody knows that Fatih Terim is a football director, okay? He isn't an actor, he isn't a doctor, he isn't a designer, he isn't a mayor, okay? So it is an extra information. Fatih Terim turned back to Turkey is enough, in fact, okay? But if we want to give an extra information, we do it like this. Fatih Terim, who was a football director, turned back to Turkey, for example, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, again. Non-defining extra information is not put between two commas. The opposite is true, isn't it? Non-defining, non-restrictive. Non-defining extra information is put between two commas. Yeah, in non-defining. Yeah, non-defining means extra information is put between two commas. Yes, yes, that's right. For example, let's focus on those example sentences. The students who won't play, in parentheses, okay? The students who won't play won't be allowed into the stadium, for example. So the students who won't play, they don't play. The students don't play, so they won't be allowed into the stadium. It is already known that all the students are only spectators, not players. So there isn't a player student. All of them are spectators. Okay, so the students won't be allowed into is enough, because everybody knows that players are professional. So the students who won't play won't be allowed into. It is already known that all the students are already spectators, not players. Players are celebrities. Okay. 2. The students who won't play, okay, there are no commas here. The students who won't play won't be allowed into. It means that it is very necessary here. Only not playing students, won't be allowed. Okay, the playing ones will be allowed into that place, into the stadium. Okay. For example, Ankara, which is the capital of Turkey, is a well-planned and modern city. So everybody knows that Ankara is the capital of Turkey. So it's a parenthesis knowledge, or knowledge in parentheses between commas. For Mr. Miles, who is a science teacher at our school, is quite good at teaching science. So everybody knows that Mr. Miles is a science teacher, so it's an extra information. Who which are not omitted in non-defining clauses. Yes, who and which are not omitted in non-defining clauses. If we want to make a non-defining clause, we will just use who and which, not that, and we don't omit them. We have to use them. In short, we have to use who which in non-defining relative clauses. Okay, B. Defining relative adjective clauses are used to describe the person, thing, or place we want to mention, talk about. They give necessary information to the message of the main clause. For example, the businessman who called you yesterday is coming to see you now. Yeah, there are tens of thousands of businessmen. But here, the businessman who called you yesterday is coming to see you now. Or the businessman that, we can use that here in defining relative clauses. The businessman who called you yesterday is coming to see you now. Where is the back, which includes the documents? Yeah. Which does not include the X, which does not include the books, but which contains the documents. Where is the back, which includes the documents? So the back, which includes the documents, is on your table. Again, let's imagine this situation, a dialogue between A and B. I met a historian yesterday or last Sunday. B. What does he know? Yes. What is he specialized in? What does he know? I met a historian. He knows a lot about the Renaissance era. Or I met a historian who knows a lot about the Renaissance era. Or I met a historian that knows a lot about the Renaissance era. Do you see that after that, for example, there isn't a subject, okay? I met a historian who knows. It is the subject of the sentence, or that knows. That here is the subject itself, okay? I met a historian that knows a lot about the Renaissance era, because that or who has come in place of this subject here. He knows a lot about, okay? I met a historian who knows a lot about the Renaissance era. Okay, is it clear? Who functions here as a subject. That functions here as a subject. But we will see that in noun clauses, as you have already known it. For example, I know that you will acquire English, okay? There is another subject after that in noun clauses. This is the difference. Here in adjective clauses, that is itself a subject that knows a lot about. But I know that you will acquire English fluently and accurately. Now, we will study them, of course, I think, again, for videos, we will also focus on the noun clauses in a sophisticated way. Okay. Okay, let's go on. I have a booklet, okay? What do you need the booklet for? What for? What do you need the booklet for? Why do you need the booklet? I have a booklet, mini booklet report. The image says. What do you need the booklet for? Let's see the next. I have a booklet. I need it for my geography project. Or, yeah, you know them. I have a booklet. I need it for my geography project. These are sentences of elementary or intermediate level. But this is the advanced level. I have a booklet which or that, okay, I need for my geography project. Okay. Now, in this case, we will see that we can omit because there are two subjects here. I have a booklet that I need, that or which I need. So we will say it like this. I have a booklet I need for my geography project. Okay, we will see them in detail in the following slides. Okay, but let me just remind it. Okay, now one. I have friends that or who are interested in poetry. Okay, what are your friends interested in? So my friends are interested in literature, or I have friends that are interested in literature. Who has friends that criticize him or her for writing poems? Julie has friends that criticize her for writing poems. Two, Yasin knows the office worker. Yes, now let's use those sentences of advanced level in dialogues directly. A, Yasin knows the office worker you want to see. Whom does Burak know? Burak knows the computer programmer you want to see. Who or whom does Celal know? Celal knows the veterinarian that or who you want to see. Okay, so it is the reduced form. Yasin knows the office worker who ya da whom or whom you want to see. Okay, so who is the subject? You is the subject, so we can omit relative relative pronoun here. Okay. Yasin knows the officer worker. You want to see is enough. Whom does, for example, whom does Cemil know? Who does Cemil know? Cemil knows the editor whom you want to see or you want to see is enough. For example, who do you want? Who do you know? Who do you know? I know the plumber. I know the plumber. Whom you want to see, or just I know the plumber you want to see, etc., etc. Yes, I advise you to produce many sentences like this. Okay. Now, Roman number 1. Who, which, and that can be omitted. Yeah, okay, can be omitted when they are the object of the defining relative clause. For example, I have a booklet which I need for my project. So we can omit which here. I have a booklet I need for my project. There is a novelist whom I will ask about Ankara Castle, or there is a novelist I will ask about Ankara Castle. Roman number 2, who, which, and that can be omitted with versions of be, if there is one of the versions of be just after who, which, that, and that. Okay, like this, for example. I have a booklet which is about drawing faces. Do you see the point here? I have a booklet. Now omit two of them, both of them. I have a booklet about drawing faces. This is the advanced level, but the reduced form, short form, small form of this advanced sentence is an elementary sentence. I have a booklet about drawing faces. Okay. For example, it is just like saying, there is a man in the car. Okay. We make that kind of sentence in the elementary level. There is a man in the car. Now here we say, there is a man who is in the car. There is a man who is in the car. Because of who plus is, we can omit them. So there is a man in the car. The man in the car is Salim Toprak. So the man who is in the car? Who is in the car? The man who is in the car is Salim Toprak, is advanced level, but you know this, we have already studied them. We say that we use be after emizar, okay? So the man in the car, the man in the car is Salim Toprak, or Salim Toprak is the man in the car. Salim Toprak is the man in the car. Salim Toprak is the man who is in the car. Omit who is. Yes. Salim Toprak is the man in the car. Okay. I can see a dog which is following two kids. Okay. So I can see a dog following two kids. I can see a dog following two kids. So there is a dog following two kids. Okay. I need a book which was written in the 15th century. So yes, I always said that verb ing and verb 3 are also adjectives. So I need a book which was written in the 15th century, or I need a book written in the 15th century. I need a book written in the 15th century. Just like saying, I need a book very small, okay? I need a book very small. Means I need a book which is very small. But which is very small, or which is small. I need a book which is small. So I need a small book. But if you say, I need a book smaller than this one, okay? I need a book which is smaller than this one. This time there are more than one word, so we cannot put them before the noun, okay? But we just omit which is. I need a book which is smaller than this one. Okay. But I need a book which is small. So we can put small because there is only one word. We can put it in front of the noun. I need a small book. Okay. But if there is, after omitting which is or which was, if there are more than one word, then we leave them there. Okay. We can't, of course, put them in front of the noun. I need a book which is smaller than this one, remains there. Okay. Yes, okay, we will acquire them. Again, reduction in relative clauses. Roman number 1, Osman has a program, or Osman has got a program. The program designs magazines. Okay. Osman has a program which designs magazines. Can't be reduced. We cannot omit. We cannot omit which here, okay? Because there is only one subject. Osman has a program. It designs magazines. Which designs magazines? So, in this situation, in this case, we cannot reduce, okay? We leave it original. Osman has a program which designs magazines. This is this. Now, 2, Roman number 1, Osman has a program. The program is about designing magazines. Attention, please. Osman has a program which is about designing magazines, so can be reduced. For example, Osman has a program about designing up magazines. Yeah. About designing magazines or designing up, pointing to is a sign of finishing something, okay? Osman has a program about designing magazines, it's okay, but designing up means about completing that design. Osman has a program about designing up magazines, okay. Now, Roman number 1, Osman has a program. You use the program for designing up magazines. Osman has got a program which you use for designing up magazines can be reduced. Why? Because there are 2 subjects here. Osman has got a program which you use for designing up magazines. So we omit which, and Osman has got a program you use for designing up magazines. Or he uses, I use for designing up magazines. Osman has a program. Osman is a programmer. Osman, who is a programmer? Yeah, Osman is a programmer. Osman has a program. Osman, who is a programmer, has got a program now to design magazines. Yeah. There is a novelist at the book fair. There is a novelist at the book fair. What kind of novels does he write? Let's see. Historical novels for kids. There is a novelist at the book fair. He writes about historical characters. There is a novelist at the book fair. He writes about historical characters, famous historical persons, characters. There is a novelist who or that, okay, that writes about historical characters. So we cannot omit here. There is a novelist who writes about historical characters. There is a novelist at the book fair. What will you ask him? What will you ask him? There is a novelist at the book fair. I will ask him about Ankara Castle. There is a novelist whom or that I will ask about Ankara Castle. So there is a novelist that I will, or who I will, whom I will. We can omit, we can reduce it like this. There is a novelist I will ask about Ankara Castle. 3. Bedri is my friend who praises me for writing stories. Who is Nazik? Nazik is your friend who praises you for writing poems. I bought the book you had been looking for. Yeah, which has already been omitted here. It has already been reduced. The sentence has already been reduced. I bought the book that you had been looking for, or which you had been looking for. What did you buy? I bought the bicycle my child had wanted. Okay, I bought the bicycle which or that my child had wanted for a long time. 5a. The kid who wants a car says that he will be a driver. The kid, the child, who wants a car says that he will be a driver. What does the kid who wants a robot say? A kid who wants a robot says that he will be an engineer. Who says he or she will be a pilot? A child who wants a toy plane says that, or wants to say that he or she will be a pilot. People who are eager, who are willing to study can learn English better and sooner. What can people eager to work do? I think not sensible. What can people who are eager to study can learn English better and sooner? Okay, it doesn't make a sense here. Let's change it into just a sentence. Okay, I think it's enough. People who are eager to study can acquire English better and sooner. Who are? This is important. People who are eager. Okay. 7a, the first criminal who was caught yesterday was a car thief. Okay. What sort of criminal was the one caught 2 days ago? Was the one who was caught, okay? That was caught 2 days ago. The one was the one caught 2 days ago was a mugger, or was a shoplifter, was a vandal, was a hijacker, was a smuggler. Okay. What sort of criminal was the one caught 2 days ago? The criminal caught 2 days ago was a smuggler. The student who was, yes, can be omitted here. The student, encouraged by his literature teacher, wrote a bestseller. What did the student, encouraged by his grandparent, do? The student, encouraged by his grandparent, parent, started a big company. The parents who will be outside the exam hall have to be silent. The parents who will, okay, the parents who will be outside the exam hall have to be silent. So who will be also can also be omitted. The parents outside the exam hall, okay, you know this, you already know this. The parents outside the exam, the parents in the house, the parents in the garden, the parents at the table, okay, the parents inside the house, the parents outside the exam hall have to be silent. How do the kids inside the exam hall have to be? Okay, the kids inside the exam hall have to be careful and relaxed. Yes. The children who are climbing up. Yes, the children who are, because of to be, we can omit here, it here. The children who are climbing up the ropes are said to be prodigies. Which child is expected to get the highest point? The third. The third child is expected to get the highest point, but this point is important. The children climbing up, okay? The children climbing up the ropes are said to be prodigies. Yeah, the sentence. In fact, we can delete this question as well. It's a general question. Okay. The children climbing up, or the children that are climbing up, who are climbing up the ropes, are said to be prodigies. Now quiz time. Let's do it from the key. Okay, key quiz 3, trip 9. Question 1. Bir Demet Tiyatro was a sitcom blank I really loved watching. That, yes. Bir Demet Tiyatro was a sitcom that I really loved watching, or which I really loved watching. Or we can omit because of that and I, two subjects of the clause. There was a sitcom I really loved watching is also true, okay? His sister blank lives in London, is one of my best friends. His sister who lives in London is one of my best friends. Okay? Do you know the people blank she was talking? Do you know the people to whom she was talking? Because we talk to someone, we talk to him, her, them, object pronoun, okay? Do you know the people to whom she was talking? Some people were worried about a hole blank was set to appear in the ozone layer over Antarctica in the 1980s. So, some people were worried about a hole which was set, okay? Which was set to appear in the ozone layer over Antarctica in the 1980s. So, we can we omit which? Yes, because there is to be, one of the variations of to be. Was, as was here. Let's read it in a smaller form, the reduced form. And some people were worried about a hole set to appear in the ozone layer over Antarctica in the 1980s. Okay, now let's increase our vocabulary along with our advanced English. Okay, solo as an adjective means, or adverb, done alone, without other people, on your own, or by yourself. yourself. What is this? I think it's because of a mistake. Okay. Okay, all right. Cut through as a phrasal verb. Get to. Get to somewhere by a quicker and more direct way than the usual way. Take a shortcut. To. Yeah, cut through means take a shortcut to somewhere. Shortcut, yes, or we can separate them as two words. Shortcut. A road which leads from one place to another, which is quicker and more direct than the usual road. A quicker way of something, of doing something in order to save time or effort. In computing, for example, a quick way to start and use a computer program. As everybody knows this, there are shortcuts. Cut through, cut across, cut down also means take the shortcut. Cut through, cut across, cut down, or take the shortcut. Okay. Cut through. Talha prefers a solo business trip by himself. Does Sami prefer a business trip with or without other businessmen? Sami prefers a business trip with other business fellows, businessmen, with other entrepreneurs. Melissa cuts through the woods, Melissa cuts through the woods to go to her school or to school. Melissa cuts through the woods to school. Who cuts through the jungle to explore new places? Yasemin cuts through the jungle to explore new places. Nejat usually cuts through that narrow path to get to school. Who cuts across that forest-like field to go to work? Who cuts through that forest-like field? Sorry, yeah, forest-like is adjective here. Forest-like field to go to work. Sami cuts across or cuts across that forest-like field to go to work. We have to take a shortcut to the stadium. Take a shortcut. Okay, shall we take a shortcut to the cinema, to the playground? We can find a shortcut. Who can find a shortcut there through the fields? Yasemin's father can find a shortcut there through the fields. The journalist was kidnapped by a few militants. Did the journalist flee solo or was he released by the militants? Fortunately, the journalist fled solo by himself, on his own. The demonstration was just the tip of the iceberg. Yeah, this is a very famous saying. The demonstration was just the tip of the iceberg. What else was the tip of the iceberg? Demonstration, the report, that report or those two reports were just the tip of the iceberg. Okay, thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed and I hope you benefited from this video, and I hope we will develop our adjective clauses more in the remaining three videos. Okay, see you in the next videos.